Welcome to Capitol Spotlight. I'm Dave Barber, coming to you this day right before session from the third floor of the Rhode Island State House. In these 5-minute segments, we like to get a member of the General Assembly in and discuss some of the things they've been working on and how it might impact you and I here in the Ocean State. It gives me a great deal of pleasure to welcome a gentleman that I see in this building a great deal, and it's good to have him back on Capitol Spotlight, our good friend from Cumberland, Representative James McLaughlin. Representative, good to see you, sir.
Thank you so much. Always a pleasure to be here, Dave.
Well, listen, and I'm particularly glad you're here today because there's something you've been working on long and hard. In fact, you brought this to my attention a few months ago. You have introduced some legislation that deals with school construction and making schools and guaranteeing that schools, new schools that are being built or renovated, remain safe. Can you bring our viewers up to date on that legislation?
Yes, the legislation itself represents, it's an educational bill that actually protects schools against potential dangers. Lately, virtually unknown to the state of Rhode Island, we've uncovered mines in our area in Cumberland, especially in Valley Falls, and there's a proposed site on 52 Broad Street, and the whole area in itself has been looked at by the federal government, and some of the area has been reclamated, but the potential area where we're looking at as far as 52 Broad Street hasn't been secured. What led up to all of this was a sales and purchase agreement by our town council to New York-based outfit to put up a school.
Yeah, this was an elementary school, right?
Elementary school. Whether it be elementary, charter school, public school, we've got 400 young kids going here, and the message I'd like to get across today is we must take every effort, and to procure and make sure these grounds are safe.
Well, in fact, I saw a newspaper clipping recently that had a photograph of you, as I recall. You were looking at, it would look like a big crater in the ground, because you talked about this at the onset. There were some mines or there's some ground that could be deemed as unsafe, and if you build a school on it, it could be particularly unsafe, and that's what your legislation addresses, correct?
Yes, the whole history of the Blackstone Mining Company, from Dexter Mines, Blackstone, Roger Williams Mines, from 1807 up to the 1900s, they were very active. There's a series of tunnels that are prevalent in this area. As recently as 2005, we had a cave-in. We go back to 1984, 38 feet away from the back door of the school, a sewer line collapsed. I notified the federal government. I've been working with them. I went to DEM, Department of Education. There, hopefully, we want to set up a committee to look at this before any COs are issued. My bill specifically says until this area is proven safe, which the federal government claims, they say this is an unproven area and only they can abate it.
Let me ask you this, Rep, in the 30 seconds we have remaining. With all the permits and things that construction companies have to get to build a new structure, how come they're not finding this dangerous ground and finding this soil that might in fact be compromised if you build a big structure on it?
There's two issues. There's a contamination soil, and then there's a structural issue which I brought to light. Civic peer engineering did bring in the contamination factor. What I'm basically saying is DEM, the head of DEM, our chief engineer, says they are not capable of making this decision as far as the mines are concerned.
Making that determination.
Making the determination, they need to look to the federal government.
All right, well, listen, I know you've been working on it. You've given me all kinds of information about it, and you've certainly improved my learning curve, and I didn't know anything about those mines that once existed there and could compromise the safety of future youngsters if we allow schools to be built on that ground. I wish you and your citizens in your community, Rep, the very best. Thanks for talking to us today.
Thank you so much.
And, of course, we couldn't do it without you. Thank you so much for watching. For Capitol Spotlight and Capitol Television, I'm Dave Barber.